In this video, we'll be hunting a box of nickels. We'll be looking for anything older than 1960, including war nickels, buffaloes, or anything older. We'll also be looking for any foreigns, proofs, errors, varieties, or any other cool things we can find. Of course, if this box doesn't produce enough finds, I will add another box on this video. And I don't see any enders, so hopefully we'll get some good finds in the rolls. And I'll bring you in when we have our first find. Roll 5 has the first find of the hunt, and it is a 1957, minted in Denver. Roll 10, and we have the second find of the box. It's just another one from the 50s, in 1959 Denver. Next roll, and we have the first 40s nickel of the box, and it is a 1946 from Philly. Roll 13, and I already pulled out 40s nickel number 2, pretty dirty, 1946 Denver, but I just uncovered a proof nickel. It's definitely been in circulation for a little bit. A lot of the proof finish is gone, but still pretty nice overall. Let's uncover the date. And it's a 1992 as proof. Again, pretty circulated, but still might wipe up a little bit nicer. Overall, proof nickel, that's a great find. Next roll, and we have the new oldest nickel of the box, and it is 1940 from Philly. Roll 18, and we have yet another find from the 50s. This time we have 1956 out of Philly. Roll 21 actually had 5 finds in the roll, which is pretty cool. They are all older Jeffersons. First, we have a 1940 out of San Francisco, and then the rest are 50s. They are 1952 Philly, 1953 Denver, 1955, also Denver, and 1958 from Denver again. That was a pretty good roll. Roll 23, and when I saw this reverse, I did think it was pretty nice, and that it could have been an older proof, and then I did turn it around, and it turns out to be a 1970S, which means it could be a proof and it could not be. And off camera, it looks a little different. It looks a little more proof-like than it does on camera, but the strike's pretty good, so I'm guessing this is a 1970S proof that's just been circulated a little bit. So definitely harder to tell on camera, but that's what I think it is. Either way, possibly, that might be proof number 2 of the box, which is awesome. Roll 26 had a couple more finds from the 50s, and they are 1955 and a 1957 out of Denver. Next roll had another find from the 40s, and it is 1949 from Denver. Just opened roll 30, and I see an edge that I think could be a silver war nickel right there. Hopefully it is 35% silver. And it is. It's a 1943 out of Philly. That is the most common date for war nickels, but any 35% war nickel is an awesome find. Roll 33, and we have another find from the 50s. This time we have a 1953 out of Philly. Just opened the next roll and just laid it out, and we're gonna have silver number 2 of the box. I see the date right there, 1943. Didn't see it by the edge because it is a little bit dirty, but it still is 35% silver war nickel number 2 of the box. And this one is also from Philly, 2 1943p war nickels. That is awesome. Roll 35 had a couple more older Jeffersons, and they are 1946 out of Philly once again, and another 1959 Denver. Next roll, and we have yet another nickel from the 40s. This time we have 1948 out of Philly. Just opened roll 38, and I haven't checked yet, but that edge looks pretty silvery, and if it is, it's going to be the 3rd silver of the box, which would be insane. Might beat my record for the most silvers in a nickel box. Let's see if it is. And it is. This one is a 1944 out of Philly. 3 silver war nickels in the box. That is incredible. Maybe my record. Let's go. Same roll, had yet another find from the 40s. This one is 1947 from Philly. Just laid down roll 42, and now I can say this is definitely my record silver war nickels ever found in a box. And to think that the first one I got was in roll 30, and all of the ones I've gotten have been since then. Saw it by the edge, laid out the roll. That's definitely going to be silver. Already see the date, 1945, and it is. This one, it's pretty weakly struck, but it is a San Francisco. 4th war nickel of the box. That is just absolutely insane. Same roll as that 4th war nickel, which is still insane. And we have another find from the 50s, which is a 1954 Philly. Roll 45 had an older looking ender, and it did turn out to be a little bit older, but not too old, just a 1959 from Denver. Roll 47, yet another find from the 50s. This one is just another 1958 from Denver. Next roll, yet another find from the 50s. This one is 1957 out of Denver. That looks like it was a metal detecting find. Last roll of the box gave us one last find, and it is just a 1954 out of Denver. Now let's go on to the wrap-up. Nickel box has been hunted, so let's go over the finds. We ended up with 12 estimates. Surprisingly, no foreigns at all. No Canadians, no other foreigns, which is pretty odd. I usually get at least a couple Canadians a box. And we did get 2 proofs. I'm going to call this 1970S a proof because it doesn't really look like it as much on camera, but it definitely has a proof strike and definitely has the luster of a circulated proof. So I'm going to call this a proof. I'm about 90% sure. And then the other one, which is definitely a proof, is this 1992S. Cleaned up pretty clean, which is awesome. Proof nickels are always great to find. Now I'll go on to the older Jeffersons. We had a good bit from the 40s and a lot from the 50s. No better dates, unfortunately, and none from the 30s, but that's still alright because we did end up with 4 silvers, which is my record most in a box, which is insane. 2 1943Ps, 1944P, and 1945S. No idea how we got all of these in the last, I think, 21 rolls, but that's insane that they're all that close in the box. And overall, because of the record number of silvers, this was an amazing nickel box.